Cool like 0 centigrade, not for social status. I flip it like gymnastics, I get into my zone. Turntables on deck, but let me check this microphone. You know I got a flow hard, straight, making dope ball. Listen to the masterpiece, y'all be like, whoa, hold the fuck up. Is this motherfucker Mozart? Shit. Every time the show started, make it look effortless. Radio Rahim, a motherfucker you gotta reckon with. Whoa. That's what I'm talking about.
Radio Rahim, Rahim, like a mom. Radio Rahim, blasting that big box, cold rocking the scene.
Yo, Radio Rahim, do the right thing. Grab the microphone and rage against the machine. Radio Rahim, do the right thing. Grab the microphone and rage against the machine.
My name is, first name is William, my middle name is Ibrahim, E-B-R-A-H-I-M. So I have R-A-H-I-M within my name. So the name though, Rahim, how I started going by Rahim was I was going to a Islamic school with my sister, my little sister, and my teacher was from West Africa, from the Ivory Coast, and his name was Sheikh Hussein, love that dude. And he would never call me Ibrahim, he would say Rahim, you know? And that just stuck with me. We would go on like different class tours and the whole class just started calling me Rahim because from the teacher. And it just stuck with me when I came back home with my little sister, she kept calling me Rahim. And up until that point, I just went by my middle name, Ibrahim, E-B-R-A-H-I-M. And I was like, man, I want to change. I just kind of like want a different change, different alias. And I really have always resonated with the character Radio Rahim from Do the Right Thing, specifically because of the issue of police brutality, which unfortunately has been just in my face since I was a kid. I really have always resonated with that character, Radio Rahim, and especially how he blasted PE on his boombox. I don't know if, I gotta show y'all, I actually have a very similar boombox too. And I was like, you know what, Radio Rahim, that's the name, boom. And so that was around 2009 that I started making that shift from Ibrahim to Radio Rahim. And yeah, that's the origin of the name. Sheikh Hussein actually in my in the Arabic class. Yeah. I guess I would describe myself as an artist activist, right? I make up a word right now, artivist, right? Artist activist. So essentially all that means is utilizing the creative process of art, whether it be poetry, whether it be music, which I do a lot of, whether it be painting, muralism, whatever aspect of art and the creative output that I can do to raise consciousness about issues that are ignored by mainstream media.
Rise, headed for the center of your eyes. The actual true living opposition comes alive. I'm an angel from hell, trying to reach heaven. In front of me, a bunch of pigs loaded with weapons.
Human rights watch every second on the clock. Another child is shot because of where they walk. How many more have to die before the goal goes goodbye?
Knocking at your door because you never show our views. The Occupy movement never covered by the news.
We want people to think outside of what, you know, media and mainstream corporations want us to think. So whether it's an issue that's going on abroad overseas, or whether it's an issue happening right here in Washington, D.C., it's irrelevant. Whether it's happening to someone who's black, white, brown, race, location, it's all irrelevant. On the case of injustice and oppression, it's imperative that we raise our voices for those who are ignored. And a great way for myself to do that is through utilizing my natural skills and abilities, and that happens to be through creative means of art, specifically music. So just raising the consciousness is really what my objective is through my art.
Rise up.
I personally think that Islam is the unofficial religion of hip-hop, so to speak, just because at the turning point of when hip-hop was starting in the 70s in the United States, there was also a massive social movement at the spearhead of which was Nation of Islam, an Islamic organization, unorthodox organization, but an Islamic organization nonetheless. And that infused within the New York City culture, which was the birthplace of hip-hop music. So that's why you hear within hip-hop, that early hip-hop, a lot of references to Islamic words, terminology, so on and so forth. And then even now, still a lot of the pioneers of hip-hop are Muslim. these values, I guess, of hip hop that I believe are there about being a good person, doing good things, which has been a cornerstone of most of hip hop music. It was there in the beginning when it started as being an outlet for youth, not to go to the street and entertain in gang violence. These are core principles. Of course, you have a lot of garbage, but again, those tenets of doing the right thing, of standing up and being righteous in a good way, not self-righteous, but being righteous to yourself and to your community and helping your community are imperative for the way I view my music and for the way I view my future. And for Islam is all about growth. There's a saying from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He said that even if you saw the end of the world approaching and you have a seed, plant your seed and water it. Why? The message there is to always have hope in the future and do your absolute best to better your environment.
I love you, bro.
Radio Rahim, check the latest. Peace.
Welcome to the district, immigrants rented. Every street, every block fully represented.
You know, claiming these flags of I'm wearing this t-shirt and you gotta rock with me because only, I think is a bit silly. We're growing beyond that, and real music is always beyond that as well too. You can listen to music that is like Japanese or Asian or African or something. You may not understand the language, but you may resonate with the feeling of it. That's what real music is about, resonating with other people, and that's what I'm about too. So if you want to represent DC, that's wonderful. I love the DC metropolitan area, but there's a lot of other cities I love too. There's few places in the world I don't like, to be honest with you, and I love hearing people speak their stories. It's just, again, when people are authentic and genuine, that's what I like to hear. I don't like hear a fabricated false story. You know, there's a lot of people from DC I don't like, and all they do is chant DC tunes all day and try and rep DC, but I don't like any of their music because it's artificial and they're not being real. They're not being authentic in who they are. In other words, their lyrics don't represent a real life that they live.
Now back on the grind. Let's do it like this. Short shot invasion breaking radio stations.
I just enjoy really the heavy drums of traditional boom bap music. That's really what sparked my interest. Obviously KRS-One is a major influence. I feel like I make my own unique sound as well too, which is just obvious from listening to my music too.
Living in the capital, though I hate politics, politicians, animals, I treat them like a microvic.
Corruption, stress, politics, drama is all in my text. In a quick minute, compose a few lines. Ease up my name, that's your face.
First to wrap you up like a tortilla. Your rap music, more like gonorrhea.
The thing is about me, when I'm writing music, I'm really inspired by the music, by the actual what I hear when I write. I typically don't write a song and then go find a beat, although I think everyone has done that. I typically hear a song or get inspired by something, usually a beat someone sends me or a beat I make, and then I start writing. So it's the emotion contained within the sound that I hear that inspires me to strike up my pen and write to that emotion.
These 5 fingers, they go straight to the soul of man. The writing, the hand of love.
But yeah, the visual aspect has been important for me because I think people want a visual representation of what they hear. And I think when we hear good music, sometimes we visualize it ourselves, depending on how it relates to us. So I like to do as much of that visual representation as I can, whether it's I do a lot of my own music videos, and actually I want to give a shout out to my homie Hanif. I did a music video for him that just got premiered on Vibe.com this week. It's called Servant to the King. So whether it's editing music videos, doing a short film, doing the flyers for our shows, which is something I've always done, I like being involved on the visual aspect as well. But me in general, I like to stick to doing things that I just kind of enjoy. So I really enjoy street art. I enjoy street art culture, and it's a great way, I think, of shameless self-promotion. Well, with the alias of Radio Rahim too, I try and make people, sometimes I think I'm a little more conscientious where I'm throwing my tags, whether it's on what kind of sign I'm throwing it on. Like I'll, look for signs that have something to do with some kind of law or something I don't like. Cameras, for example, in Washington, D.C. and Maryland. and you may see a tag there. Just to just get people to not only look at the tag, but resonate what Radio Rahim means. By that, and I mean a lot of people connect it just with the movie, not necessarily my music, but at the same time too, for me as an artist, literally being out there in the street, and my way of saying, my way of putting that is with my art. My art is, you can see it in the street, you know what I mean?
Radio Rahim, y'all. Let's go, yeah. Fist up.
Of course, I'm trying to always make it bigger. So, but I'm not fazed by not having a record deal. Would I consider a record deal? Absolutely, I would consider a record deal. But I really like the independent route and being in control of everything. And I really do actually, as tiring as it is, I do enjoy doing everything myself, to be absolutely honest with you. It's tiring, but there's a real sense of confidence and pride from knowing that every step I make is something that I've done through my own sweat, blood, and tears. No one's given me anything, and I'm appreciative of that. The only people who've given me anything is my family and a handful of friends, and those are like all blood to me. So other than that, I don't need a record deal. I have a flexible schedule, and I grind as hard as I want to grind. But I definitely, you reap what you sow as an independent artist. So the harder you grind, the more fruit you're gonna see. The less you grind, the less fruit you're gonna see. That's how it goes. I just hope it leads to a nice legacy of artistry, a legacy of artistry. That's really what I hope. I hope to stimulate some people to think and question things and think of things outside the box in the context of our social political environment. That's mainly a lot of things I talk about. And help just make a better community, honestly, and help get people to express themselves with a pen and a pad and not with hitting the street with a gun or hitting the street and getting them caught up in some wildness, which is still very prevalent in our communities, whether it's crooked cops or whether it's just kids who are bored and don't have a job or trying to make quick money. I just want to stimulate folks to think and break outside this paradigm that we live in. We really need a paradigm shift. At the end of the day, I make good music and good art. Either you like it or you don't hurt my feelings. If you like it, that's what's up. If you don't, too bad, you know. So that's at the end of the day. I make good music, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it. So that's why I invite everyone to take a look, take a listen, come to a show. I'm not a jerk. Try not to be a jerk, and let's be friends. I'll wash your car.
With a vengeance, I stand before you, a soldier in the movement, a martyr for humanity. Let me just prove it on a stage, on a mic, Freedom Plaza at night. I send rage through a pen whenever I write. Way more than music, more than amusement, every word I speak.
Go home and understand, rap stands for rhythmic American poetry. Rap music is completely based on something that is intrinsic and inherent part of America. Unfortunately, it's been misconstrued by the same agencies that misconstrue everything and cause people to cause division amongst each other.
When the weak is strong, till then, I'm just a brother speaking on the life I live, joy and distress. Alhamdulillah, y'all, I always keep it fresh, in full effect. Yes, sir, we come correct. I bring it to the people all live and direct, paying dues for years. Now time to collect. I came with these lyrics and left with your respect, in full effect. Yes, man, we got the plan. Radio Rahim dropping jams across the land. Real hip hop, all pure and authentic, from an independent brother out with a vengeance. That y'all, I like that y'all, I like that y'all. It's like that y'all, it's like that y'all, it's like that y'all. Radio Rahim, in full effect. Big ups, my man, J Sonic, Confidence, yo.